Alright, so today's videos are going to be inspired by the Dallas Cowboys' dramatic loss to the Green Bay Packers here in January of 2024. The Packers were up, I believe it was like 45-16, something like that in the fourth quarter with like 5-6 minutes remaining on the clock. Dallas put a bunch of points on toward the end of the game, but never got really close. Anyway, so we're going to have some conversations spinning off of that. So, topic number one is the whole idea of what do you do with defeat in an area. So, what's kind of, in a way, what's kind of crushing about a sports loss is that, there's only one winner of a Super Bowl, right? Or there's only one winner of any given game unless there's a tie, which is rare. So, the interesting thing about it is that, there's 32 teams in the NFL, only one is a Super Bowl winner. So every other team, their season's going to end in a loss. So for all those fans, the millions and millions of fans, all of their seasons are ending with a loss, except for one team. So it's kind of funny when you think about it that fans are actually signing up in a sense. They're essentially signing up for disappointment with the slight hope of a ending in a win, ultimately. Now, in real life, if you don't quit, essentially you have the opportunity to potentially win in the future, right? So there's a sense in which the only way to genuinely fail at something is to stop doing it and say, I've been defeated, this is it. Now, I will say, like in business and in life, there are many times when you could feel like it was a defeat. So, you didn't get that big deal you were trying to get, or, a family member walks out on you or something like that. And some of those situations, like with someone walking out on you, you may have no control over that. There may be a sense in which there's simply a defeat there, if you will, or other bad things out of your control. So there are some things like that just permanently happen, and there's no keeping on going with it because the thing is over and it's done. But what's kind of interesting about it is that in many things, I think about this in business some, right? Which is basically if you don't quit, you can't ultimately lose, essentially. So if you don't work yourself into such a hole that you can't keep going, and then you can argue that you've never really lost because the only way to lose is to quit. There's still a chance to win if you keep going. And whereas, sports tournaments are very much oriented that there generally can only be one winner, and therefore all other teams will lose in their pursuit of the win except for the one team that does. So anyway, it does call into question the sanity of sports fans, if you will, because the unless you could take away moral victories from deeper playoff runs and winning parts of the playoff, if that's satisfactory for you, and then great. And if the joy of winning regular season games, if that outweighs the negativity of losing in the playoffs, great. Anyway, it is fascinating, but ultimately a little ridiculous, I suppose, if you think about it. Anyway, so my testimony as a Dallas Cowboys fan is that, it was my choice to choose the Dallas Cowboys as the franchise that I'm a fan of. Now, I don't know if I really gave it a lot of thought as having a choice. I think I just kind of they're the local NFL team, and I'll just, I'll cheer for them. But it is my choice whether or not I want to be a fan of that team. And so I am considering switching my allegiance. Not that necessarily Cowboys Nation will maybe care that much. It's not going to make a big difference to Jerry Jones or not, whether or not I'm rooting for the Cowboys. And but that kind of leads into the issue for the next video.